And that was I'm Only Human by the Human League. Now, welcome back to WICR. This is the Neighborhood Guys from 5:30 to 6:30. And Johnny.
Frankie, welcome back, Frankie.
All I got to say to you little slam pigs out there is, would you wake up in the morning, pull the cream for the baby right before you go to bed, pull the cream for the baby, pull the cream, pull the cream, pull the cream for the baby every morning, wake up, pull the cream for the baby right before you go to bed, pull the cream, the cream, pull the cream, cream from the cream from the pea, pull the cream, 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 cream from the pea, pull the cream, the cream, the cream from the pea, pull the cream, cream, the cream from the pea, pull the cream, 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 cream.
Oh my goodness.
That was
it's absurd.
That was demented, if anything. But welcome back, everybody.
Oh my goodness.
Good
Never
to be back.
stops. Never stops.
I had to. I apologize for not being around for the first segment. I had to take care of an issue with the parking situation
Oh, I'm
here.
so ornery, Frankie. So
ornery.
ornery.
So I'm not sure if a lot of you guys know the parking here is ridiculous. It's tough. It's not easy. But some things. Well, I'm not going to get too deep into that. This we are using the radio station here, and I'm very grateful that we have the opportunity. But let's get on to the segment here. We got now in 2008. Sarah Palin openly said
Sarah Palin?
Sarah Palin. The one woman.
She's beautiful, by the way.
Yeah, oh my God, it's not even fair.
I'm
it's
in
not
love
fun.
with her. I'm so
fair.
biased just for loving her, you know?
It's not fair or fun how pretty she is. I just saw an interview with her recently that she did, pretty much saying exactly what I'm about to state right now. And it's just every time she was speaking, I'm like, I just love you.
She still got it.
Still
got it, Frankie.
Still got it. Still holds the torch. She carries it. She burns it out, and then she lights another lantern whenever it goes out. Oh, man. Now, she's predicting.
What'd she say? What did she say, Frankie?
In 2008, she says, with that Russia is a geopolitical, not a geopolitical ally. They're actually a threat, and if nothing, not like invade Russia, fight Russia, like let's start a problem with them, more of like you got to keep them at bay and let them know that you can't overstep your boundaries, especially with a guy like Putin. And she said that in time, what would stop them from invading Ukraine? Actually, they're going to invade Ukraine. That's what's going to happen.
Well, they've already occupied some areas of Ukraine, haven't they?
Yeah, and that's recent, and that was in 2008. Now, of course, we all know that that current president, Slow Mama, turns around and completely makes fun of her for being, you're a soccer mom, you're a hockey mom.
Yeah,
from
that
Alaska.
was back when she was running as the vice president against him.
Yeah, against him, and he was really trying to play the role like you're an Alaskan hockey mom.
Yeah, they painted her like she was some ditz, like
you're an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. And then he brought up Russia invading Ukraine. Like, does this woman not realize the Cold War is over? And everyone laughed at it. They high-fived each other. They thought it was real cute. They thought it was like really cute to make fun of her. And then
it became really popular to make fun of her.
It still is. It still is. Like, if you so much as say Sarah Palin, right away the liberals look at you like, oh my God, you Sarah Palin.
Exactly.
And then, that's the first thing, like, you don't know anything about politics if you like Sarah Palin. It's just like, oh, my God, get off your high horse. Wear normal-sized jeans and stop sipping your chai.
And take those hipster glasses off quick.
Oh, my God, and relocate from Brooklyn.
Thank goodness someone sees it besides me.
And please relocate from Brooklyn.
Well, the irony of the whole situation, Frankie, is there we are 6 years ago.
So 2008. Mm-hmm. So he comes into office, of course, and then we have 4 years after that in 2012. Mitt Romney did the same exact thing and debated Obama. And
I remember that debate.
The exact words that Romney said to Obama is, I'm not saying that they're an issue right now like Al-Qaeda is, like the terrorists are. They are a geopolitical issue. They are always finding a way to overcross a boundary with us, and that is something we can't tolerate.
Historically, that's what they like to do. Any opportunity they have to make us look weak, they will take that opportunity.
And that's what they're doing. And right now, let's get there. So in 2012, he says that. What does Obama do? He turns around and goes, hey, Mitt, I'm not sure if you understood, but 1980 is calling, and it's asking for its foreign policy back. Once he said that, if you were on Twitter or if you were on Facebook, I just very, very, very distinctly remember people being like high-fiving each other like, wow, if this was a battle rap, Obama just completely bodied him.
Oh, it sounds like SoulCon.
Yeah, it is. And I remember people going on there like cheering and being like, wow, he just took it back to 1993 on you. And it's just like, wow, 2014, 2 years later, actually, was it a couple of days ago? Russia invades Ukraine.
I was gonna say, I guess the 80s called Ukraine then.
I guess the 80s called for its foreign policy back. And what makes me really, really happy about this is it shuts so many people up, because the first person they look to make fun of is Sarah Palin. Meanwhile, she predicted something 6 years ago.
Believe it or not, Sarah Palin, prophetic. What do you know? The dumbest lady in politics is a prophet, I guess.
Apparently knows what she's talking
Yeah.
about, and compared to you, I don't want to get too deep into the explanation of and adjectives of how much I can't stand, the millennials and
millennial
like
culture,
people who
gee.
just like know what to do when it comes to society. Like, we know better. We
They
hate
fight
ourselves.
injustice.
There's just the injustices. Like, we hate ourselves, so that makes us better than you because we just know better. People like that, I just want to like soak in kerosene and throw off the top of a building on fire.
For the 4th of July.
I hate them as much as Joe B hates Star Wars. Like, that's how much I can't stand them. Like, it's funny because my friend Joe, if you even mention Star Wars around him, he just starts getting mad. Like, you could just see it on his face the second if he's listening, he's probably getting mad if I said Star Wars. I could just start. You could see it on his face. He starts getting a little ready, and he starts conjuring up and concocting a horrible thing to say about it. I don't know why, but I think he just does it. It started off as a joke, and after a while, they would tamp it off. But regardless, the point is, it's just my distaste for people who act like that or talk like that, because you're shutting down two people. Mitt Romney, I thought, would have been a great choice at the time, because, as you know, me and Johnny were talking about this. This is a guy who's been known to save businesses. This is a guy who knows his way around the business
That was his calling
table.
card into the political arena.
This is Mitt Romney, who is a business-oriented guy, compared to a freshman senator. Obama in 2008 was a freshman senator who didn't know his behind from his elbow, and that's the truth. Now, Johnny also mentioned something as well, that Martin Luther King was known for. What was that saying again, John? What was that?
Well, it was from
Not
his,
to judge on.
It was his famous "I Have a Dream" speech, where he said, "I have a dream that one day my children or grandchildren will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character."
So the content of their character. So if we go back in 2008, what was the content of his character? He was a smooth talker, but didn't know what he was talking about. So because he's an African American with a kind of an ability to converse with the people in front of him and be able to reach their level without even teaching them, showing them, or giving them any kind of hope. Just like, hey, listen, I know how to talk like you. So because I know how to talk like you, that's going to make the dumb ones really, really impressionable to just come on to me. And that's exactly what they did. It was just like, oh, well, he seems cool. Do you have any idea what this man was aiming for, what he was about? They don't. They absolutely don't.
I don't think they cared either, Frankie.
No,
That's
they
the sad
didn't.
part.
No, they
didn't
didn't. They
care.
were just like, and it's sad because I'd like an African-American president, but I would have rather it have been Condoleezza Rice than Obama, to be completely honest with you. I'd rather a strong, independent woman who's not afraid to pull up the cowboy boots and at the same time tell somebody, stop being lazy and get a job. And that's what Condoleezza Rice would have done, or even Eric Benson. Not Eric Hudson, the GOP right now, who's a total idiot. And I'll say it again, he's a total idiot. He's the one who wanted to open up the civil rights case against the Trayvon Martin trial. Like, oh my God. You know what I mean? Like,
Frankie, if you want my honest opinion, I don't even think Obama's the brains
Eric
behind.
Holder, not Benson. Eric
I
Holder.
don't even think Obama's the brains behind his operation. When I look at it from afar, and this is just my own gut feeling, is I feel like his wife is actually the one who's really in the driver's seat. She's the lawyer. I feel like she's the one who's really pushing his buttons behind the scenes.
She is, but he's got a lot to say about it too, because you could totally tell, especially when he wants to back something up or he wants to like make an excuse for something. You could definitely tell he's backing up his own words, and then you could also tell when Michelle's getting involved. I'm not even going to call her the first lady.
You know,
We'll
like,
call her
because
Michelle.
not for nothing, he's manipulated laws and things like that. And her as the lawyer, I think she's definitely his main comrade. That's really, and I say comrade specifically because he strikes me as communist. But I think that she's the one who's really kind of holding his hand and guiding him along through the legal waters that he really has no real,
No, he has no idea.
ability to navigate.
Besides his administration telling him what to do, they're as far left as it goes. So they're gonna pretty much appease to what he wants and make it their own way. But the thing that makes me really not like him much at all, besides the $17 trillion debt that's only getting higher and higher and higher, and spending has increased beyond the roof, is his ability.
Not to mention he has one of the lowest approval ratings of any president in American history.
Ever, which will make him one of the worst presidents. But if you say that out in public around certain areas, you'll get your head lopped off for that.
Yeah.
Now, let's be honest and let's put all the cards on the table. This man picks and chooses what laws he wants to abide by and what laws he wants to just trample over on the Constitution.
He's antagonistic too. I mean, you could say the same thing about George W. Bush about being antagonistic, but here's the reality of the situation. Okay, if George W. Bush was antagonistic, two wrongs don't make a right. If you don't like one president being antagonistic and you have a problem with
So
it,
you're
why
gonna
don't
do
you
the
have
total opposite?
Yeah, why do you not have a problem with the next president just because he's in your political party
So-
being the same exact way?
Meanwhile, what people really tend to forget is Bush pulled a lot of liberal moves in his office.
Yeah, he did, big
He pulled
time.
a lot of liberal moves. He was one of the first presidents to actually give. I'm not going to say amnesty because it wasn't Obama gave him amnesty, but he was the one to actually give benefits.
He opened
to-
the floodgates.
for illegal immigrants. He's actually was the first president that actually started giving aid to illegal immigrants, and it makes me laugh when people from an Hispanic background with illegal immigrant family members living in this country tell me, I can't stand George Bush, and I laugh at them. I'm like, really? Because the reason why your mom, your abuela, has a free cell phone and can do what she wants in this country is because of George Bush, and Obama put it on steroids. So where is your hate coming from? Oh, that's right. You're just going in with the majority because you, like everyone else in that specific category, have no idea what you're talking about.
It's sad, man, because when Bush went against the recommendation of the UN and invaded Iraq, it was a big deal to the Democrats. They
Huge.
were
Oh,
really upset
man,
about
news.
that. But when Obama, at one of his State of the Unions or whatever address that it was, where he came out and said, "Well, Congress may not be on my side, but I have a pen." So pretty much you're just saying that you're
matter what
actually
you
saying that
do-
you're a dictator, and that the whole notion of American checks and balances, of differing viewpoints, creating balance and not allowing one side to dominate, you're going to change that with just your pen. That
That's
to
pretty
me,
much what he said.
that's a slippery slope, and I'm not, as an American citizen, I'm not comfortable with that type of discussion from the president publicly.
No.
And then the fact that the Democratic voters are you get behind this guy when he's openly saying, I don't care about the rights of the other opinions and the differing viewpoints in this country, it's kind of frightening to me.
Yeah, and on top of that, what happens when people see that actually, you know what? Really quick to bring up that goes along with this. Sarah Palin actually turned around and they were like, well, what is he going to do about Putin? They says, well, this is what Putin does, and the same thing what our president does, and liberals really seem to adopt to this. And she said, you can trip over any law that they've been doing. They can choose whether they want to abide by or just scrape under the table, and they call it a quote-unquote an executive order. And then nobody says anything. Oh, it was an executive order. The president said he had to do it, so we're not going to question him about it.
That's what he was talking about with the pen. He's
That's
saying
exactly-
he can use his pen to pretty much do whatever he wants, that sounds like a dictatorship.
And what makes that funny is Palin said that weeks ago. Weeks ago, this woman said this. And then just recently, the other night, they were like, we just want the media to apologize to you. She was humble enough and says, no, I don't need their apology, because she knew she was right. She knew what they were going about, and everyone's turning around saying, oh, what does she know about it? Oh, she's barely been in office. Meanwhile, Obama was a freshman senator. Dude has been in had maybe 2 or 3 years in what he knows about in politics besides what he's studied. It drives me nuts when people tell me, well, I study sports broadcasting, so there's nothing about football. You can't tell me. Really? I've been watching football since I was a child. I could spew out
It's not even
facts.
that, Frankie. You could be a football historian. One of the first rules about academia when you're learning something is there's always more to learn. So there's no way
Exactly.
that you'll ever know everything about anything. It's just not possible.
Something I really want to tell people, because you work in that field doesn't make you an expert unless you really are an expert. And a lot of people aren't, but they love to say they are because that's their, this is my position. You can't tell me anything. It's just like, really? Because I just did. But
WICR, Iona College Radio. Home of the Gales, not to be confused with a Jamaican man saying Gales. We're actually saying Gales, as in, like those horned creatures that run around and apparently ram people. Go Rams! And I say that because I went to Fordham. Shout outs.
Yeah, same. Yeah, same. Here. We were Fordham Prep. Fordham High School is Fordham Prep, which was an awesome school. I absolutely loved it.
I'm sure we're not getting too much love on the Iona airwaves saying it, but we love y'all too.
Oh, of course, man.
Thank you.
It's nothing but love. But when we come back, we're gonna actually Johnny over here is gonna regurgitate a couple of things. Maybe he's gonna hog up, do a little right on your face.
You
So
understand? You understand?
when we come back, Johnny's gonna show you what it's like to be a professional.